Hello, lovely listeners. I am Kacy, also known as the Calorie Deficit Queen, and I am here with my husband, Tyler. And together we are on a mission to help you ditch the dieting roller coaster and finally achieve sustainable fat loss without confusion and without overwhelm. So each week we're going to bring real talk, proven strategies, expert insights through the lens of the 4 M's of fitness: mind shift, meal shift, micro habits, and muscle building, so that you can create sustainable results to fit your life. So whether you're starting your journey, maybe you're leveling up your progress, we've got you covered. It's time to shift your mindset, fuel your body, implement new habits, and build strength. It's time to transform yourself. Today is all about how you might be missing the fat loss forest through the trees. It's January, and what that looks like is all of the personal trainers, all of the fitness influencers. I get it. I am categorized as one of those.
In that bucket.
I am in that bucket, and that's fine. They are all selling you their secret, their magic, their thing, right? And some of them are fantastic, and some of them really align with our message, the 4 M's of fitness. And many of them do not.
Some of them, they're snake oil.
Yes, 'tis true.
Garbage.
Yes. So the deal is so many women in January fall into a trap because they want to do everything right. But the reality is they're stressing over things that don't actually move a needle, right? You might be thinking, oh my gosh, that guy told me to drink lemon water first thing in the morning. And that person over there is telling me to take their supplement, and their supplement will help me lose fat faster. And this person over here is telling me to do fasted cardio, and that person's telling me not to do fasted cardio, and I should do.
Oh yeah. It's like, I can eat eggs. Oh no, I can't eat eggs. It's whatever you want. You can find someone that's going to swear up and down that they've got the answer and that it's going to align with whatever you believe.
Yes. And what we're trying to, I guess, convey in this entire podcast today is to, instead of looking for the shiny object, start looking big picture. What big picture is going to help you move that needle and work your way in that direction? Start looking at the entire forest. Stop overanalyzing best workouts, for example. You know, like, I get women ask me, well, what workout is the very best workout for fat loss? The workout that gets you moving.
Yeah, the one that you can do consistently.
Yes, the workout that you are going to do is the one that is the best for you.
Especially like optimizing. Like, optimizing is like, that's like a 1 year, 2 year in kind of a thing. It's like, if you're a newbie, just eating balanced and exercising and moving more is going to make a lot of difference.
If I tell one of my clients to go, I don't know, play pickleball for her movement, but she hates pickleball, she doesn't want to do that, well, that's not going to work out very well for her.
Yeah.
You know, so it has to be something that you find somewhat, you know, enjoyable to do. I don't want you to hate it. I do have one client who is adamant that she hates working out. She still does it. And my mission, I had this thought recently, is to help her turn that thought around into maybe not hating it, but making it a neutral thought about working out. She doesn't have to love it. I'm not going to make her love it. You don't have to love working out.
Is it lifting she hates?
Yes.
Yeah, and that's the weird thing is, like, lifting, it's pretty undeniable that lifting is so critical. I mean,
well, yeah, we'll get there. In building muscle.
Yes, building muscle is, yes.
And muscle burns 3 times more calories at rest than fat does, which is why it helps with sustainability.
Yeah.
But back to what women tell me is, or ask me, is what is the best workout? And if you are constantly in search of a best workout, or you subscribe to, you know, this person on YouTube, or you go buy a subscription to Body, and you're constantly looking for the best workout, but you're not consistent with any kind of workout, well, then you're not moving the needle. Because what we're just looking for is what is going to get your body moving. So let's start there.
Yeah.
So instead of spending hours researching which split is going to be best, which routine is going to be better, is it fasted cardio ideal, whether you should train in the morning or you should train in the evening, do what works for you and get your body moving. And it's not about a perfect routine at all. It's about consistency. Can you move, and can you be consistent with movement? And I keep saying, I just need you to move. And the truth is, if you really have this aversion to strength training, that's okay. Don't start there. It's okay to not start with strength training. It's okay to start with just walking. Do a lap around your block, come back. You know what? Was that one more lap than you did yesterday? Great. Fantastic. You're winning. Keep doing that one lap all week long. Next week, make it 2 laps.
Yeah.
And start there. It doesn't have to be...
You have to start running a 5K every day.
Right.
Starting Monday, I'm doing a 5K every day, brother.
Right.
Yeah, okay. That's how you end up injured. And then you're going to regress in any kind of progress you may have made.
Number 2, I have several of these. Micromanaging meal timing. Women want to...
So what do you mean by that?
Women want to really micromanage their meal timing. They are worried that if they eat after 7 p.m., they are going to gain weight, period. And so many, I'm not going to eat, I won't eat after 7. I've stopped. And maybe it's a rule you set up for yourself to help you maintain your calorie deficit. Okay, fine. If it's a rule you set up to maintain a calorie deficit, but if it's a rule you set up because you think if you eat after 7 p.m., you're going to gain more fat, that is not true.
There's been a dogma for a long time that, if you eat carbs late at night, that's going to turn immediately into fat. It's like, well, a calorie is a calorie.
Right. And I always say to my clients, a banana does not care if you eat it at 7 p.m. or 7:01 p.m. It's going to be the same exact calories regardless. Yeah. And really, it's just about being in a overall caloric deficit throughout your 24-hour period. If you are in an overall caloric deficit, then great. Less energy in than energy out. Fantastic. That's where we want you to be.
Do you have any clients that talk about doing like multiple meals a day? Like not multiple, but like 5 meals a day, 6 meals a day?
We don't necessarily talk about multiple meals a day, but I do have clients ask me, group clients, one-on-one clients. I have clients ask me about, what should I eat right before I exercise or right before I work out? And what should I eat right after I work out? Look, here's the deal. That kind of thing.
I don't think it really, for the average person, I don't think it makes a difference.
For the goal they're trying to achieve, it's not going to move the needle.
Yeah. You're not an Olympic caliber athlete.
They're not an athlete.
You're not going to the Olympia. It's just, you're trying to live a reasonable life.
They're moms.
It doesn't freaking matter.
They're me. They're just another version of me. Right.
Yeah.
And we just have to make sure that the driver of fat loss, period, is a calorie deficit. We don't have to fixate on meal timing or whether or not we should eat carbs before or after, or protein before or after we exercise. Yeah. Yes, we do. If you are a client of mine, we do work towards having protein forward meals. We work towards looking at not just calories, but also a high amount of protein.
Yeah. If you want to worry about that after you've been working out consistently for at least a year. Then work.
Yes. Agreed.
That is putting, blocking and tackling first, getting all the basics done.
Right. So meal timing, not important, people. We don't need to ask questions about that because we just need to stick to the basics. So number 1 was move your body in a way that maybe you weren't doing before. Start small. And number 2 was we don't need to worry about micromanaging our meal timing. We just need to worry about, are we in a calorie deficit? Number 3, searching for the magic supplement or the magic fat burner or the magic detox tea or the magic metabolism booster, or the magic whatever. It's
most
all
of
the
it
things.
Is such garbage. Almost every supplement's garbage.
It's you trying to take a shortcut, which has never worked out in your favor before, and guess what? It's not going to work out in your favor again. So instead of looking towards those shiny little shortcuts that cost money, and then, work towards the basics. I keep saying that. It's the basics. Real true fat loss can sometimes feel boring. I had a meeting with my one-on-one clients the other day, and it was pretty much all about how fat loss can feel boring, and that's okay. It's okay if it feels boring.
Boring is good. Boring is consistent. Boring is routine. It means you don't have to think about it.
That's right.
Like that's good.
It is a good thing. That's right. So no supplement is ever going to replace a calorie deficit. We want you to prioritize whole foods, protein intake, consistent habits, and that is what will bring you the success you're looking for.
Yeah, all the supplements that really made a big difference got banned in the 90s because they were giving people strokes.
They were giving people speed, right?
What was Hydroxycut? The original Hydroxycut in the 90s was basically like a low-grade amphetamine.
Right.
And of course it worked. Of course it curbed your appetite. You're taking speed.
Right.
But so, for today, there's no. All the good stuff is gone.
All the good stuff was outlawed in the 90s.
And you shouldn't be taking that anyway, because that's so dangerous.
Agreed. Okay, so number 4, if you're obsessing, and people still do, obsessing over all of your macros instead of getting the basics right, then you're missing the fat loss forest through the trees.
I think this is probably... Go ahead. Sorry.
So many women are just... Go look on my Instagram page at pretty much every recipe I've ever put out, and you will see that if I didn't, put all of the macros, the fats, the carbs, the protein, and of course the overall calories in the caption of the video, people immediately, you gave us the protein and the calories. What about the fats? What about the carbs?
Don't care.
Who cares?
Who cares?
Who cares about the fats and the carbs? If you have your calories right and your protein right, you are not going to get the other things wrong if you are a generic mama. I'm sorry, I'm calling y'all generic. I'm not trying to call you basic.
You're not training for a triathlon. You're not training for anything. You're just trying to live a normal, healthy life. And I'm going to give you your comeuppance here. Is that this is probably the best piece of advice that, in my opinion, you give is don't worry about all that crap. It doesn't matter, because if you keep your calories in your whatever, if you're trying to be at maintenance or trying to be in a deficit, as long as you keep that where it needs to be, and then watch your protein so you can, build your body the way it needs to be built. It doesn't freaking matter.
It really doesn't. It does not matter. Y'all, I will say it again and again and again. And until it's funny because until somebody becomes a true one-on-one client, gets into the small group sessions with me, and we really start talking through it, and we really start looking at the details and looking at the profiles of our clients. When I can get a client to really focus on just calories and protein, it's amazing. Give them a month and they will be preaching, oh my gosh,
it's so much easier.
This is so much easier. This is so much better. This actually works. In fact, I was doing a group coaching session a couple weeks ago, and I was kind of preaching to about 300 ladies on Zoom that, I don't want anybody to over-focus on fats and carbs. We don't worry about putting all the Tetris pieces of the puzzle together when you don't even have the basics right. If you can't get your calories and protein right, then we don't need to worry at all about fats and carbs. We need to focus only on calories and protein. And here I am just saying it over and over again, and you're probably sick of that by now. Me too. But it works, and it's going to work every single time.
Yeah.
And then finally, when women try to chase small calorie burns because of guilt.
What does that mean, a small calorie burn?
So, and I maybe it's not small. I guess it's all in comparison. But say a woman is a client and she eats a cookie. She might tell me in messaging or in some way, well, I ate a cookie on Tuesday, so I'm going to do an extra mile tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
So
trying to atone for your sins.
Yes.
Essentially is what you're doing.
Yes.
You're doing.
Yes. Their guilt.
Giving a Hail Mary.
Yes. Their guilt is forcing them to do more time in the gym, right? And I don't want that to be a thing. I don't want that to ever be a thing. I don't want you to eat a cookie and feel the guilt.
Exactly.
I want you to eat a cookie and be super happy that you ate that cookie. I want you to, in fact, plan to eat a cookie. In fact, put that cookie in your meal plan at a time and know that, Wednesday, I'm eating a chocolate chip cookie. And I'm so excited about Wednesdays because I eat a chocolate chip cookie on Wednesdays. And on Fridays, I have ice cream and it's amazing. So plan ahead for those things. But when you do chase a calorie burn with exercise, then this is when we need to work towards a better relationship with food and your feelings about food. So exercise is great for overall health, but fat loss comes from eating fewer calories than you burn, not trying to outwork a bad diet. I have so many clients that meet me for the very first time in a Zoom. I met 2 brand new clients this week, and I hear it from almost everybody that I meet with. Oh man, I used to work out or I was in the gym all the time. And okay, great. But it doesn't matter if you were in the gym all the time. It doesn't matter if you were doing cardio. It doesn't matter if you were doing gymnastics. It doesn't matter what you were doing in the gym. If it was strength training, what was your diet like? What is your diet like?
Yeah.
That is the driver of fat loss. And we have to get the basics, the boring stuff right. We do have to get that right. Now, I don't want to confuse this though. I don't want you to think, okay, she's saying we need to be in a calorie deficit and move our body. So eat less, move more, right? Because it is more than about eating less and move more. Because if it was only about eating less and moving more, well, then I would have not been successful. It is because eating less and moving more is really just the meal shift and the muscle building part. It is also kind of the micro habits because a habit might be walking, right? But we also have to work on mind shift as well. So I do want to mention that, yes, mind shift is part of it, but part of mind shift is getting women to stop overanalyzing. Because if you are an overanalyzer,
that'll never happen.
No, it will. If you are an overanalyzer, you are looking for more information, right? I need more information. I need more data to collect. I need, okay, this person told me I should do this. I should do fasted cardio. I'm going to do that. This person told me to drink the lemon water. I'm going to do that. This person told me to track all my macros and make sure that my carbs are not above this number. So I'm going to do that. This person. And so you collect information and more information, but more is not better. Collecting more information is just information overload, but where have you actually taken action? That is what we want. We want you to take action instead of collecting a bunch of information. I get that this is a podcast. This is giving you information. I'm hoping that through listening to this podcast, I'm hoping that at the end of each podcast, you can ask yourself, okay, great. What is one piece of information I can take and put into actual practice? Because learning is not the same thing as doing. Information is not transformation. Information is only information. Transformation comes from taking action. So I'm going to ask you, listener, what can you take away that you can actually put into action? And that for you might be, okay, I'm going to let go of trying to strength train right now, and I'm just going to walk. And I'm just going to walk, 1 lap. Or it might be, the takeaway might be, you know what? You're right. I'm going to let go of trying to perfect all of my macros, fats, carbs, and protein. And I'm just going to really focus on calories and protein. Maybe your takeaway is going to be, yeah, I should probably stop trying to look for the detox or the fat burner or the whatever it is, fill in the blank. Because really, you have to start with the basics. The greatest part is that where you start is not where you stay.
Bingo.
So if you start with the basics, it does not mean you're going to stay there forever.
You have to start.
You're going to grow.
Yeah.
You're going to get better. You're going to end up walking more. You're going to end up maybe adding strength training. You're going to end up adding on as you go, but we have to get the basics right first. So let's start seeing the entire fat loss forest for what it is, which is, do you know your calorie deficit? If you don't, go to thecaloriedeficitqueen.com, click on getting started, and calculate it there. Do you know your protein intake? If you don't know where you should be with that, again, thecaloriedeficitqueen.com, click on getting started. You can calculate that free on my website as well. Strength training. If you don't have it and you don't want it right now, that's okay. You can leave that out, but make sure that you get in some kind of movement, some kind of steps, and start tracking it. If you don't have a tracker, that can be where you start getting a Fitbit or getting an Apple Watch, getting something to track it. You can buy off Amazon,
like $10.
Yeah, $10 trackers. So it is.
Even your phone.
Don't let money be a barrier to that. And I want you to just work on consistency over perfection with the basics. So let's shift our focus. Stop worrying about perfection. Stop worrying about all those tiny things that really, truly don't matter. And start taking action on the basics: calories, protein, movement, consistency. Because that is where real progress is going to happen. That is a wrap for this episode of Transform Yourself. If you loved today's conversation, don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an episode. And if you have found value, we'd love for you to leave a review. It helps us to reach more people and help them take control of their health and confidence. For more fat loss tips, workouts, motivation, follow me on Instagram at the Calorie Deficit Queen. And check out my latest programs at thecaloriedeficitqueen.com. Remember that lasting transformation starts with small changes. Keep showing up, trust the process, and let's keep transforming together. See you next time.
Adios.